Now, if you forget to trust the universe, or you actively distrust the universe, which is a very common event, what happens is that you're going to crave something other than unity, or you're going to crave unity with something that's other than the highest good, the highest beautiful, the highest true, the totality, higher consciousness, eternity, whatever you want to call it. You're going to crave something that's a little easier to get, so lower hanging fruit. Like I said, it could be sex or chocolate, but it could be based on your Enneagram, right? So let's say you're a 6, it could be based on a craving that there would be unity within the culture, that you wouldn't be taken advantage of by the way gas prices operate, or the way your job operates, or the way your family operates. You'd want to be true unity. You want to have true unity, and so that everyone's best interest, especially your best interest, would be held in mind. And so then there's a distrust of the universe, that there's an assumption that because gas prices are the way they are, because your family or job is the way it is, then the universe has let you down. You're forsaken, you're cursed, or there's no meaning and order to it. It's not benevolent at all. But as soon as you entertain the idea that you can trust the universe, that the things that are going wrong may actually be pushing you to the cusp, right? To craving true unity and to seeking parity. And so you're seeking parity not necessarily by some kind of conquest or campaign or crusade of pentacles and swords to get more money or to get more your ideas across. That may not be the way to get actual balance. The way to get actual balance may be just to enter the present moment and to connect with your feelings fully and be willing to forget. Forget what? What we just said, trusting the universe and choosing a higher level of unity than the one you might have been craving, and to seek balance in a internal way through the present moment. And so the part of that balance comes by being willing to forget something that might rescue you, right? If you're a guru or a spiritual teacher or anyone who's in a position of marketing something and promoting your thing is better than everyone else's thing, then energetically you're trying to hold on to something. You don't want people to forget, and you don't want to forget that what you have is valuable and not completely foolish. But if you're following Taoism, then you're willing to say, oh, it's completely foolish. You know, I was corresponding with a up-and-coming Taoist teacher who's all about bringing more people into it and hiring people, and I'm like, you don't get Taoism, do you? You have the teacher in the middle of Asia. You've flown out there and spent many times. You've learned all the moves. But I don't think you get it. It's really about being willing to be seen as the fool and not making any efforts to change your circumstances or to prevent your circumstances from changing. You're just in a position of waiting. And you're constantly checking the I Ching to see if what you're saying is not completely foolish. And if it is, you will and own up to it. So that's the trusting the universe. I'm not trusting the universe, or I'm ready to trust the universe. So this complaint can be diffused somewhat. The complaint is coming from Cartman's Dharma Triangle and negative adaptive child, negative free child, negative nurturing parent, negative controlling parent, someone in there, or all of them operating, and you got a complaint. So you're not trusting the universe, and you're craving something other than unity. You might be craving disunity, right, to escape, or a unity where you're on top, conquest, and that could be seen as sexual or power dynamics, or chocolate where you get to eat it. And you're maybe seeking parity, or you're not really seeking parity, but if you're seeking parity, it's not on the level of an internal peace. Okay, so that's Au, and then the Aum is the Shiva judging, right? And that's where the judgments come on the Cartman's Dharma Triangle, and negative adaptive child, negative free child, negative controlling parent, negative nurturing parent. There's some kind of judgment coming with positive adaptive child, positive controlling parent, positive nurturing parent, positive free child, ideal parental figure. Not judging, right? It's more embodied. Your actions are coming to obey or to break a limit, to purpose. On the right side of the tree of life, or limits on the left side of the tree of life. It's coming either out of fear or just out of an intuitive sense of what limits should be applied, what purpose should be pursued. And it's the kind of thing where, ironically, the way we get there, in my opinion, you may think I'm foolish, is ba, not the sound of a sheep, but B, believe you're already amazing. That's the ideal parent figure inside you. It says you're already amazing. You don't need to react from fear of what's happening, of the culture and needing to conform, but you also don't need to react with desire and anger to rebel against that society. If you believe you're already amazing, then you're opening yourself up to something that's even more amazing, the universe, to guide you to what is the correct choice, what is the correct decision. But certainly, complaining about gas prices, unless you are a legislator, right, or married to one, you're really not going to have much influence over how that goes, right? So you're complaining about a lack of parity, and you want parity, but it's not really trusting the universe, and it's not believing you're already amazing. Because if you're already amazing, yeah, you're going to somehow make it through with the gas prices, what they are, or whatever. I'm just taking that issue, whatever happens to be bothering you about work, about family, about the economy, about politics. Only when you don't believe you're already amazing are you going to get hooked by those things, because they're a projection or a mirror to your inner turmoil. But if you believe you're already amazing, if you don't need to convince anybody, if no one has to buy your product or your service, right? You're kind of stepping out of the capitalist mind frame somehow. And the best way to do that, unfortunately, is to work for the government, which is a mind-numbing experience, I can tell you. But that's how you can feel like a fool and feel underappreciated, undervalued. There's no advancement. But it's the Taoist way. So you're opening to something else, although the society and even Taoist teachers that are famous or getting famous, as I said, don't really understand that. And a lot of this has to do with static masculine. Are you willing to accept the power that the society has over you? And then you can create balance between the right side and the left side, between purpose and limits, between the culture and the individual, between the dynamic masculine that wants to rebel, wants to get attention, wants to be on top, and the static masculine structure that you feel like you have to either capitulate to, escape from, or somehow rise in the ranks of, right? That's what everyone's doing if you're in the economic system. And it's hard to escape it because everyone else is doing the same thing. But if you want to get to the dynamic feminine, this is all from Jungian writer Gareth Hill, if you want to get to the dynamic feminine, my belief is 6 F's, right? You feel your feelings fully. And you're going to find freedom by being willing to forget. Forget what? Well, it's a lot of things, right? We have a chant, what is forgetting, but really you're forgetting is even the complaints, even the position of the negative adaptive child, negative free child. You're willing to forget it. You're not pushing it away and you're not grasping onto it. You're just willing to forget it. That's Taoism, right? But what you're also willing to forget is the ultimate, which is that the universe is on your side, right? To trust the universe. I forgot to do that. But I've got all this evidence why I shouldn't trust the universe. Things aren't going my way. The universe must not be on my side. How can I trust the universe? And look at all the horrible things that are happening. Yeah, this is what Job went through. This is what Jesus went through. So, I talk about the parable from Matthew, that the kingdom of heaven is like a man who finds a seed and he hides it in the field and spends all his money to joyfully go look for it. That's the willingness to forget. Trust the universe. I forgot. If you don't forgive yourself for not trusting the universe, which means don't forgive yourself for causing your own suffering, there's more suffering. You have to forgive yourself for hiding the seed, for forgetting to trust the universe. And if you do that, then you have the Vishnu abundance. If you don't, then you're going to go into the cusp and try to get unity or disunity from a lower level of consciousness. But if you do remember to trust the universe, then you will crave true unity with the divine, unity with the universe, unity with the cosmos, unity with higher self. It doesn't matter what you call it, higher consciousness. Any word you have is going to fall so far short. It's going to have a concept wrapped around it, which is so fall short. But you're craving unity with the ultimate, right? Or the eternal, or the universe, or the God. So then, but you're craving that, but you're not actually taking any actions, right? Because any actions you take, you're going to try to, based on your Enneagram type, enact some plan that's going to get you that unity with God. Hey, look at all the followers I got you to my church or my ashram. Can we have unity now, please? No, it doesn't work like that. So you're just going to focus on seeking parity, and mostly balance and parity are an inside job. It's balancing the negative adaptive child, the limits, That's the left side of the tree of life, and the negative free child, the right side, the purpose. And often what the purpose of the ego is to advance you, to get you credit, to get you power, to get you out of the situation where you feel cursed and forsaken, to get you out of that government job. You're not getting any raises, or raises aren't keeping up with inflation. It wants to save you from all that. Very nice. It's very nice. It's very nice. And it's completely backwards, because the parity that you're seeking is an inner parity. And so you're seeking the balance between the dynamic masculine and the static masculine. So if you have a static masculine structure that isn't appreciating you, whether that's your boss, your spouse, your child, your parent, or even some guru that you're following who doesn't seem to be doing the job and getting you enlightened, but asking a lot from you, your money or your time, your obedience, your attention. So you create balance, right? And some people say, well, that balance is by you becoming the guru. So then you're going to become the static masculine structure. Okay, fine. But then be willing to let it go, right? As soon as you grasp to be in charge of the static masculine structure, to escape the static masculine structure, even as I do often judge the static masculine, right? That organization or that person who has gotten power from marketing themselves and selling their product. If you don't have balance with that, you're still in dynamic masculine, right? You're in dynamic masculine because you ran away, as we all do, from the static feminine, from the mother, from that unity, because it was either too smothering or it's unpredictable or you just grew up. But if she didn't say every day, you're amazing, you're already amazing as you are, then your dynamic masculine is going to have some tension with the static masculine. It wants to be empowered by the static masculine, but also wants to be in control of it. Because it couldn't control the mother, now it wants to control the father. But once you say, it's unmanageable, I can't control anything, I'm just going to have to go to my job every day, get no appreciation from my spouse, from my child, from my parent, from my job, from my boss, from my guru, from my religious leader. I just got to keep going along. Trust the universe. So maybe there's some reason why it's like this, repetitive day after day. Maybe I should crave unity and seek true parity within through the ideal parent figure. And then it's, you're already amazing. Even though there's no evidence that you're amazing, there are other people getting a lot more attention than you. There are more followers on social media. They have a spouse that seems to love them, or a child that seems to love them, or a parent that seems to love them. You forgot. So you feel your feelings. You trust the universe that whatever you've given me somehow must be for me to crave unity of a higher level and seek real parity and tell myself that I am already amazing, and then be willing to forget that. I trust the universe.